Hi, so I just made this book cover on DIYbookcovers.com. It's kind of a horror Chainsaw Texas Massacre type cover, which was fun. I'm using Google Hangouts because for some reason the sound on the Google Hangouts is really nice and you can hear my voice, whereas when I use Camtasia or something, I get a really loud feedback buzz on the background noise. So I can't show you my whole screen or the whole process, but I can show you how to make book covers in this online tool that's free to use. That's pretty nice. And I'm going to make one more horror story cover because I've got some more art for it. I've got a lot of gradient layers in here, which is a little hard to grab all the things you need to. And I've already saved this as a project. So I'm going to go ahead and delete some of these things that I was using. There's a cloud cover back there. I'm going to move all these gradients over the side. It'll make it a little easier to deal. It's a chainsaw guy. We need to use the gradients because in this tool, there's no easy way to get rid of the hard edges. So for example, there's another picture I found that I thought was kind of fun. It's not really supposed to be a horror story, but I think it's kind of creepy. It's pretty creepy. That's this one. I think it's creepy. And I'm also going to throw in some clouds. Like this. Later we'll figure out how to blend those together. It's not super easy to blend things together in this program, but those two are close enough in color that it shouldn't be too hard. And I'm going to have to make this darker at the bottom so that there's room for the text. So there's a couple ways to blend things in this program. One is you can go to feather edges, but you can't go to transparency. You can only feather to a color, which is kind of a pain in the ass, but I haven't found a way to fix it. So I could feather to white, but I'm actually just going to use gradients. Make this a little bit smaller. And so I have these gradient layers, so I'm going to bring up. This program is sort of like Photoshop that has layers over here that I can rearrange. So I'm going to put that there, and that kind of solves the problem. And I'm actually going to change this to, no, I'll leave it at multiply. There we go. So that's a nice dark area at the bottom that kind of fixes that problem with the hard edge of the picture. I might need to add some more later. And then up here, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'll add a light gradient. I could make my own gradient by adding a shape, a rectangle, but I pre-made a few, so I can just go to image import and go to my gradients folder, and I'm going to grab this white one. I made just like a bar of white that I can put between these two pictures. It doesn't really work because I want it to be kind of scary horror, and it's so dark down here. Actually, what if I change that to this red one? And that's going to go behind the text, so it won't look so weird. And I'll see if I can blend that a little bit. Maybe not. There we go. Kind of like that one the best. There's still this problem with the line there. But if I put text over it, probably wouldn't notice. I'm going to bring one of these gradients back up. Gets kind of hard to grab the layers that you want to. That'll make it more creepy, more horror style. And it's dark enough now you don't really see that line anymore. But I want to bring them out a little bit more. So I got to find them. That's a text, I'm going to need that later. Same with this one. I'm going to bring that layer up on top. Oops. It's going to be a really nice, creepy cover. So I'll put that up here. And then I want to make the family really stand out. That's actually, if I could get rid of that line there, it would be okay for a different genre, but for the horror story, I'm going to keep it really dark. So here's that image. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to just blend it a little bit better. Usually overlay is the best for getting a strong contrast. Now we still have that line, so I'm going to have to move that back a bit. Or actually, I can just go to, whoops, feather edges. That might work if I change it to black. No, guess not. The line might not actually matter so much once if I put the text right over it. The rest of it looks pretty good. I could do that if I want to make it really creepy. Maybe I will. I could even blur it a bit. Fun stuff. I grab that title again. Yeah. I kind of like it just white. I think the reason it's not super bright is because I have some transparency on. Because this program lets you do transparency, unlike most others. So I could change it back to really strong white to stand out more. Not sure if white is the right color. I might add a gradient or something over it. Wonder what this would do. That's kind of fun. These are actually photo styles you could use to change the colors a little bit. And then you can also use something like this to totally change colors. Makes it pretty easy to try out different things. Yellow has the most contrast. I'm not sure if I want to use it. It really needs to be textured a little more. And I might be able to do that with a font. Yeah, it's too much. So, I think that'll work, and then I could also just add another layer behind it with some blur. And then maybe darken it a bit. With darkening, I can just make it a little transparent. Gives it kind of that glow. I don't really love the yellow text, but it really does stand out the most, so I'm going to keep it. I need to change this color a little bit to make it stand out. I like the red, but I'm just going to go a little bit lighter. And I like this author name a lot. It's Telegraphical, but I used the same font last time, so I want to try something else. I need some more fonts in here, but I'll add some soon. For the author name, you want to go with a really simple serif or sans serif font. You don't want too many distracting, stylish fonts on your book cover. So you want one good one for your title, and then you want to keep the rest really simple. So I'm looking for some simple serif fonts, but I don't have that many in here actually, so I'll add some more. It could work. Oops. It's fun. It's actually, yeah, the yellow is really distracting. I really love this picture back here, and the text is almost too much. It'd be better to play this up and make this really big and bold, and then make the text kind of fade out, not quite as strong. do that with the top. Okay, that some of your text is really small and can't be read in the thumbnail. That doesn't really matter. It still looks professional to have a little bit of small text. People will always just click on your cover if they want to read more or see what it says. But that small text, that's not going to be the reason someone buys a cover or not. It's always going to be the art itself and the feeling that it evokes right away. The other stuff, if they're interested enough to click the cover, they can find out the details later. I'm going to fade that out a little bit. And then I'm going to hide that top layer again. I kind of want to bring this even again. There we go. You can't do it with every genre, but for a lot of genres, just bringing out the color and the contrast can have a pretty strong effect. Unfortunately, it gets that line back here again because I didn't blend that away well enough. But still, it's bold enough and strong enough that's going to catch their eye, which is all you really need. Yeah, I think I'll stop there. It looks pretty good. There's probably ways I could have blended that a little bit better. Actually, I might bring this one back in too. This is that Ventique. Oops. It's always a pretty easy way to add that strong contrast. Just to add a vignette layer around the edges. That's pretty fun, actually. Might move this up a bit. So I'm gonna move that up almost to the top so I can grab it, hopefully. There we go. That really works pretty well, except for that line there. So I'm gonna put another layer of just dark behind that. Make it disappear a little bit. Here we go. Almost can't see the line. It's still there, huh? Just a little bit of a line somewhere. Let's see where that line is coming from. Sometimes there may be just something you can't fix with this program. this background, I could blend it together really fast in Photoshop or even using Word or something. So you might want to just blend your images outside and then use this program to add your text. So I didn't quite manage it with the program. But if I could get rid of that line, it'd be a really strong cover. Colors are pretty good. That's pretty close. I think I'll stop there. You almost can't see the lines. I think the other way I can fix it is bring this out. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. It's pretty good. I'm gonna save this as a PNG because the PNG is better quality. And then I'm gonna save it as a project file. And so this is a template, which means you can just upload this template into my online cover tool and just start messing around with it, adding in your own text, your own covers, your own pictures. It takes a little while to get used to using the tool, but then you'll be able to do some pretty cool stuff with it. Yes, there's still that line here, which I would have liked to have gotten rid of. I could with more time, but this video is long enough already, so I'm gonna stop it here.